Oh, how are you today? Well, Grandma wants to share another story. This one is called The Nightingale. Once upon a time, there was a king. He lived in a beautiful palace in the land of China. Behind the palace was a forest. In the forest lived a nightingale. A nightingale is a kind of bird. The nightingale sang so sweetly that he was known far and wide. People even wrote books about him. One day, the king read one of the books. "This bird lives in the forest behind my palace, but I have never heard him sing." "I must," said the king. So he sent his most trusted servant to bring back the nightingale. He read a book about a nightingale and wanted to hear it sing. The servant went into the forest. By and by, he came upon a plain brown bird singing a sweet song. It was the nightingale. "Will you come to the palace and sing for the king?" asked the servant. "Of course," said the nightingale. At the palace, the nightingale sang and sang. The king loved the music so much that he cried, "I will buy you a fancy cage so you can sing for me always," he said. And so he did. By and by, a present came from the king of Japan. Inside was a toy nightingale. It was made of gold and covered with jewels. It was much prettier and flashier than the plain brown real nightingale. The king wound up the toy bird and it sang. "This is so pretty, I will place it in the cage with the real nightingale," he said. And so he did. By and by, the king seemed to forget all about the real nightingale. Feeling unwanted, the real nightingale flew back to the forest. "No matter, the toy is better," said the servant. The toy was better than the real nightingale. Every night, the king listened to the toy bird sing, but one day it broke. "It will never sing again," the servant said sadly. Years passed, and the king grew very sick. "My only wish is to hear the music of a nightingale," he said. He begged the toy bird to sing, but of course it did not. See, there it is. The toy bird is still in the cage, but it's broken and can't sing anymore. By and by, the real nightingale heard that the king was sick, and he flew to his window. There he sang a song so sweet that the king was quickly healed. "Dear nightingale, you made me well. Come back. I will throw away the toy bird. Then you can live in the cage all by yourself," said the king. He was happy to be better. "No, keep the toy bird," said the nightingale. "I like the forest, but I will come to your window every night to sing." And so he did, and his sweet music brought joy to everyone in the palace forevermore. See, the real nightingale, even though it was a plain brown bird, sang much sweeter, and it didn't break like the flashy gold toy bird did. And that's the way it is in real life. Lots of times things are pretty and flashy, but that doesn't mean they're better than something that is plain and simple. So I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you remember that Grandma loves you. Bye.